Hello, hello, and welcome to today's family program. I'm Dr. Kitcher, and it's always a joy to come to you. We have another beautiful week here, and we're going to continue from where we stopped. But if you have joined us for the first time today, I want you to know this program is built one on the other. So I would encourage you to watch the previous program so that you will be abreast with what we have been saying, where we are, and also you will get to know where we will be going. Also, I would like you to take 1 minute, that is for everybody here, to invite a friend to watch this program together with you, like also, and share the link with friends. This is beautiful, this is wonderful, and we are always thankful for those of you who share with your friends, and we look forward to great times ahead. So we've been talking about teamwork and its effectiveness, effective teamwork. And it is very, very important that we understand that in life, we cannot do stuff all by ourselves. And we need one another. We need people. We need, a group. We need a team to be working. But when you're working with teams, it's not that easy. We have looked at the stages when a team is coming together, that is forming, and the time that is, in the place of, storming and, beginning to perform and, take look at what has been done and if there's a need to reform and move on and so on and so forth. Today, we're going to look at another aspect of teamwork, which is really, really, really important because this will definitely come your way, whether you like it or not, because of the fact that we are human. So we're going to look at how to deal with conflicts, because when you work with people, there would be conflicts. Conflicts will arise, but it is important for us to understand, first of all, that conflicts are inevitable. Conflicts are inevitable because we are humans, because we have opinions, because we may understand or take steps in different ways, or maybe we would even want to improve upon something, but without the prior knowledge of others, then it becomes an issue that somebody else does not understand. And conflict develops actually when we are dealing with people's lives, when we are dealing with jobs, maybe with children, pride, your self-concept, your ego, sense of mission or purpose. And it is very, very good when we know these things happen. When you are informed about something and you are even told what to do when it happens, the day it happens, you will be in a better shape to manage it and to take full control of it. There are some indicators that can be recognized. And I'll start with those things so that we can look at, how to identify the early indicators, of conflicts. And there are strategies as well to resolve these conflicts. We can come up with solutions. We can approach conflicts, from different angles, all with the aim of resolving it. Yes, although conflicts are inevitable, conflicts can be managed. Conflicts can be minimized. It can be even diverted and or resolved. So when you hear conflict, it's like, oh man, I don't want conflict. No, face conflict. Look at what to approach conflict with. Is it one that needs to be resolved? Is it one that needs to be minimized? Is it one that needs to be diverted? Is it the one that needs to be resolved? Of course, when it is resolved, it is the highest point. But there are certain conflicts that rise up, and all you need is to manage it. All you need is to minimize it, because conflict is like, how will I say, like a cancer. It can spread. It can increase and move to other things. So we need to be really, really careful as to what we do in order to manage conflict. I have said it is inevitable. Therefore, you cannot work towards not having conflicts. You rather have to work towards the resolution of conflicts. And conflicts begin with few things. I will mention some, And I know you can later figure out the rest, because nothing just happens. Remember this, nothing just happens. Beginnings of conflicts. One of the things that begins conflict is poor communication. Where there is no proper communication, there is no proper execution. Where there is no proper communication, there is no proper understanding. The level at which you communicate will be the level at which you are understood. The type of communication you engage in will inform the type of results that you get. So communication is very, very key if we are to resolve conflicts. Beginnings of conflict is rooted in poor communication. Another thing that brings conflict is when people seek power. When people seek power. When you seek power, when you seek for authority, when you seek for position, you are likely to fight others who maybe need to shape you up where you are. So poor communication, seeking for power. The next one will be dissatisfaction with management style. Some people have their own views and their own ways. So they say, well, we don't like the way the leader is doing stuff. Oh, we don't agree with this, without maybe getting into the mind of the leader by communicating with him or her, knowing why things are done the way they are done, and maybe even giving time to see if it works or not. But because it's not my way, then it shouldn't be done. But when we work in a team, everybody's view is important and everybody has to be listened to and heard. But we as a team are working towards the fulfillment of the team's goal, the aim, the vision, or the purpose. Somebody said there are many ways of killing a cat, which is true. And sometimes when you work on a project, there could be different approaches as to how to resolve it. So probably the approach you know may not be the approach that is being used right now. And therefore, you may have to maybe learn a few new things. There are some people who wouldn't want to learn, so they become dissatisfied with what is going on, and it broods conflicts. Oh, conflicts are powerful. They can take root in you and just come out one day. So be careful, especially when you feel dissatisfied with something. Begin to ask questions about it. Begin to have discussions around it. And at this time, let your frame of mind be to get understanding, to get to know why, and if possible, contribute what you feel and know is the right thing. Another thing that brings conflict is weak leadership. Weak leadership. Where leadership is weak and cannot sit up and make final decisions, people will not work well. There would be clashes. There would be conflicts. There would be, I don't like that way. It is not how we should go. And instead of the leader leading, he would be just, pushed around. So if you are a leader, I want you to understand that you solidify your position by understanding, applying the right approaches, and working with the people, and making sure that you actually are bringing direction to the people. I am not talking about you being authoritative, dictator, or maybe a slave master. No. I'm talking about you fulfilling your role as one who sets the example, one who calls upon all others when there is a need, one who will not sleep over issues, and one who will not be just pushed around. Be strong as a leader. Develop yourself as a leader and make it your mind that as a leader, you are expected to bring direction, you are expected to oversee, and you are expected to preside over issues. Develop yourself. Another thing that invites conflict, or that brings conflicts or broods conflicts, is lack of openness. When people are not transparent, oh, this is so difficult. When you have serpentine people among you, those who behave like snakes, they are under grass, they never stick their head out, they never mention anything, they never ask questions in meetings, but then after meetings, they express or fume or write everybody and say, did you realize this? And you know it's not right, and they talk behind your back. People who lack openness are cancers to teamwork and its effectiveness. Therefore, make a resolution in your mind that you will not be that person who would be bringing that poison into the team. Be open, be transparent. Let what you say and what you think match. Let your actions, your words, and your thoughts be the same. Let people take you for who you are, because what you show is what is there. It's beautiful when you don't need to explain yourself, but you express yourself. So please, conflicts are inevitable. Conflicts can be managed. Conflicts can be diverted. Conflicts can be, resolved. But then we must make sure that we are not people who are breeding or bringing about conflicts. Another thing that can bring conflicts is change in leadership. Whenever there is a change in leadership, a new leader comes, definitely since he's a unique individual, maybe with unique approaches, although he may be continuing in the same ways, it is likely that maybe the style will change, the approach will change. It takes time for people to adapt. In the beginning, because of maybe a period of dryness, tiredness, or maybe the absence of a leader, people are used to stuff. But then comes a new leader. And when a new leader comes on the scene and he begins to ask, certain questions and act in certain ways, which is not what the people are used to, they can actually have issues with that. As a leader, don't be surprised and don't feel overwhelmed when you see such things. It happens. We have so much we'll be talking about as far as dealing with conflicts is concerned. Like we do here, we don't rush. We take it step by step, and each step is an eye-opener. So this is where I would, conclude for today. This is today's family program. We are here to help you resolve basic issues of life, be relevant in this world, because we believe no man is an island. We need to connect our lives with one another. And when we work together, we can achieve faster, bigger, and do more. So learn to be an effective team player. And we are looking right now in this series, the whole issue of conflict. And we must know conflicts are inevitable. Till I see you again next week, I'm Dr. Kitcher, and this has been your favorite program, Today's Family. We will see you next week, same time on this same channel. Bye-bye.